4 or 5 different fillings? What do you do? Like put $10 in? Are you one of those people?
No. I'm just saying, like, the
Pull over and put
bottom
ten
is
bucks
just
in.
where things mixy.
I see.
But
Because if you
no,
ever
I mean, I
fully
haven't
empty
done
it,
the
so you got that.
$10 since I was in college.
I just put $10 in the other day. I'm not gonna lie.
And you just like when you filled up like 1 gallon.
It was a situation where I was like, we have one place that's just markedly cheaper than everywhere else, and I was too far
Yeah.
away from it to make it. But
Yeah.
I needed gas. Otherwise, I've never run out of gas in my entire life. I'm not gonna start now. And so I pulled over, and I'm like, I'm not paying this rate though. So I'll just take $10, please.
Oh yeah, no, highway gas is where I put like, yeah, just like $10, $20. Like when you're like, okay, this is literally $1 more expensive than like anywhere else.
Yeah.
So yeah. Yeah. No, my husband is he will literally drive us 20 minutes out of the way for to save like
Do you run the math on
6
that?
cents. I tell him all the time worth way more than anything, but I mean, some
But even just the
habits is
math on
just
the lost gasoline and the 20 minutes, by the time he gets the
trust me.
savings.
I'm telling you, Jared,
Send
this
him
is
to
not
me.
an argument that's going to be won in my household,
I'll straighten him out. You need some help? I'll straighten him
Thank
out.
you. Yes, I'll send it to Jared.
I have this guy I want you to talk to. He's a gas expert. He's
We
done
should
all
just
the
have him a
numbers.
surprise guest on the show.
That'll be fun.
Surprise podcast. Have you ever thought about that as a concept? Where like somebody's
Mm.
they're coming on a Zoom meeting and then it's like, surprise! You're
You're
live on
live
air.
to the
Oh my
world.
god.
It's like, I thought this was a meeting. Like, no, this isn't a meeting.
We should do a
Yeah.
we
Call it
should
it's a
do
gas.
a couples party sometime. I think we all have SOs here. That would be hilarious.
That'd be
Like
fun.
Yeah,
8
that would
people instead
be.
of 4 and just like see what happens. Play some games.
Or
Oh
we
man.
just switch. Like
Oh,
it's
swap them.
only the spouse.
That would be funny too. They'd be like,
Oh my God.
What are we gonna talk
Wow.
about? I
My
don't know.
husband is so different than
We don't
me.
even know each other.
Have any of you met him virtually or in person? Jared,
Um,
you're gonna get a chance to meet him in All Things Open. He's coming to North
I
Carolina.
feel like I shook his hand last time, but didn't actually meet him either.
But you did actually like meet him in
I think
Raleigh.
so.
Yeah, he was there. He was at All
Yes.
Things Open with me last time too when I was speaking. Yeah.
Right.
Wow. Okay, I'm so glad you got to meet him. But
Yeah,
yeah, no,
but I
we are
didn't really
very
get to
different.
get to know
I
him
don't know
really.
how
I
we're
just
like
shook
a
his
happily
hand.
married couple. I think it works because we're so different.
Yeah.
Our values are 100% in common, but the way we live our lives is like we have a Venn diagram
Opposites
piece,
attract,
but then we're very.
All right. I guess I should tell our chat. I don't think anybody's around because it's Friday
It's a
afternoon.
Friday,
We used to
Friday.
Oh
actually do
yeah.
the show on Fridays
Gotta get down on. Oh, really?
in the yesteryears, back when it was the original cast of Alex and Rachel and Michael was the original cast. And it was every
Yeah.
Friday afternoon.
A reunion show where we get all of the past hosts to come on. That
We
would be.
totally could try. Yeah.
We could try, but
Yeah.
also just. I feel like we should do an epic, like a feature, like you know how 60 Minutes or they have that.
Where
Where
are
are
they
they
now?
now? Yeah, we should do
That'd be
like
fun.
Where Are
They're
They
both in,
Now
they're
on
still in the
like
same place.
yeah.
Like Alex still works at Stripe, doesn't he? Like he's pretty much in the same place he was. Michael,
Alex.
Alex Sexton.
Alex was on this show once upon a time. I had did not even know that.
He was one of
That
the
is
original
wild.
three.
I actually, yeah, we had a small project that we worked together on at Stripe, but he's in the design system team. I was on the crazy multi-platform.
That's one of the
Nutty
reasons
part
why
of
it's
the
called
house.
Yep Nope JS was because of Alex.
Yeah.
Just to give him as an homage to his library.
Oh, wow. Yeah, Alex, and then
Yeah, like the first 20
Susan.
episodes was Alex, Michael Rogers, and
Are we live on
Rachel.
air?
Oh yeah, we're live now. Sorry, did
Okay,
I
I
not
was
say
gonna
that?
say some things, then I'm like, I don't want.
Yeah. Oho.
But like, let's just, yeah, I won't say them on air. It's
Okay.
fine.
I'm just gonna
I'll
let our
say
channel
them.
know that we're.
Remind me after. It's funny.
Okay.
Um, may or may not be about a former place that I worked.
Hmm.
Um, okay.
I'm just gonna put out a message to our channel. Don't want to get started. In
I
case
like
anybody
how
wants
this
to hang
Google
with us.
proposals will make it harder to block cookie ban. Brave's approach to blocking cookie banners requires Brave to stay one step ahead of others, and companies that run the nightmarishly titled content management systems. Um,
Wow, this channel hits 24 time zones now. Our Slack channel is
wow.
24 time zones now. Makes it really hard to do an at channel, but I just let it rip anyways.
That must be almost all of them.
Yeah, don't you think? That's gotta be. I mean, it's every 24
I mean,
hours
they
in a
have
day.
some that are phased banned, right?
I don't know if
you
the math
have?
works like that.
Yeah, can you have more?
Jared.
Are there's some
I'm pretty
overlappers?
sure there's more. There's all these. Have you seen Australia has like 19 different time zones or some shit like that's crazy.
What?
It's like if you
just
live
like-
in this part of Australia, like literally like in the same latitude line or something. I don't know which one's
Right.
lat long, but like in the same line,
Lat.
but like above it is a different time. I
That's
thought that
crazy.
if you were in the same line going down, you were in the same
That's
time
because
zone.
it's geopolitical and it's not scientific,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Oh my God. I'm just okay. I'm done with the Gregorian calendar. Let's just go back to like
Yeah, who's
using
this Gregory
lunar
guy? And why do
calendar.
we all have to pay attention to it?
Right.
I hate
Lunar
it.
calendars
I
and
hate him. We hate you, Gregory.
anyways. Yeah, Gregory.
It's the worst.
Unless you're Greg Butkowski. We love that guy, don't we, Nick? You know Greg
don't know
Butkowski,
who that
don't you,
is.
Nick?
No.
You don't? I thought you've been playing with Stable Diffusion.
I have.
He's one
I've
of the
been-
magic words you put in to get better results. Greg Butkowski. He's like
Really?
he's a spell. Yeah.
A spell.
All good prompt engineers know that.
I'm not a good prompt
I think
engineer.
show today, we should just record this conversation.
Well,
It'll
we
be
are.
like the Seinfeld episode, you know? It's a show about nothing.
The episode about nothing.
Yeah,
Oh,
we
can
just call it Waiting for Godot, you know, JS Party Edition. It's like, you know, we're all just, you know,
Yeah.
start yet? Yeah, okay, yeah, it's gonna start. Okay, so then blah 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 blah, you know. Just
How long could the four of us talk without even starting the show? Probably an hour.
I
We can only do
mean-
an hour.
pretty much
Days.
probably an hour, yeah.
Days.
I mean, I've been holding back. I've been holding back as is. So
And you're only on a quarter tank. Just imagine if you were full.
I mean, seriously, yeah.
All right. Well, now that Nick's offended me by not knowing who Greg Butkowski is, I'm going to start the show.
Who is
officially.
Greg Gakowski? Is it Gakowski?
I feel like I'm saying it wrong because I'm
Rutkowski?
getting called out. Let me see if I got it right. I think it's
I
Rutkowski.
just created a prompt and I put Buttkowski. Is that right?
Oh,
Sorry,
my
guys.
God, it was-
Rutkowski.
I was-
Greg Rutkowski. Let me put
Rutkowski.
this link into the channel.
Oh my goodness.
Right.
What did you get, Nick?
Yeah, just some butts.
I put 4 panelists waiting to start a podcast, Greg Buttkowski, and it was a picture of 3 white dudes standing in a line.
Wow.
Sounds about right.
Sounds about right. Just one of them doesn't even exist. You're so not included. You're not even here. That's funny. Sorry, it's Rutkowski, so I guess I really blew that. Good thing it's not actually on the show. But he's mad because everyone's turned him into this, you know, he's basically a spell now. He's not even a human who does art. He's just a guy that you use his name when you want your Stable Diffusion art to look better. All right, here we go. I'm fascinated by the whole thing, so here we go. Let's start. What's this? The start of the show? Yes, we've managed to successfully start the show. I'm Jerod, your internet friend, and I'm joined by a few of my regular panelist friends. Nick Nisi is here. What's up, man?
Hoi hoi. How's it going?
It's going great. Friday afternoon. Again, off schedule for us, but turned out pretty well last time, I thought. So we'll try it again, and we'll see if we can do a JS party on a Friday. Amel's also here. A quarter tank Amel, we're calling you today.
Yes, it's Rebecca. What's Murphy ML? It's Friday. Gotta get. No, it's not.
Oh,
Actually,
Rebecca
I'm
Black. That's Rebecca Black.
Black Murphy. I don't even know where I got. See, it's half tank or quarter tank ML. Yeah, no, I've had a good but long week, and I'm very TGIF right now. So
Right. Well, happy to have you here with us. And also rounding out our cast, Amelia is here as well. What's up?
Hey, hey. Excited for this Friday episode.
We're going to do it segment style. If you're a regular listener, you know we have some recurring segments that we enjoy participating in. Today we're doing Story of the Week, the world renowned and award worthy HeadLIES segment. And if we have time, it's not award winning, but it is award worthy. That's what they're saying. That's what they're saying out there on the street. I heard it said just a few moments ago. And we're playing pro tip time, if we have time for some pro tips. So we will start the show with Story of the Week.
It's time to take a peek. It's time for the story of the week.
Story of the Week, of course, is our opportunity to talk about some of the goings on around the JavaScript and web dev community, and then, maybe argue if we want about which one's more important, better, or which one of us is smarter or better looking. So I will start to see if, because why not, right? And I will start with a
Because you're the best looking. Just kidding.
rim shot on that one.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, it's okay. Don't worry about it. Oh, there we go. There we go. I've been
The
waiting
soundboard
for
is in
that.
full effect today.
I know. I've been waiting
So-
for that.
Okay. I'm
That's
about to
like-
announce my story of the week. The future of the web is on the edge.
Of
That's it. That's the
extinction.
story of the week.
Just kidding.
No.
Googleification. No, just kidding. Actually, that really ties very nicely into my story of the week. So, but anyways, let's
Okay,
continue.
well, let
with
me
yours.
explain this
So,
one
on the
first. So
edge.
this is a
Yes, on the
post
edge.
on Dino.com. So disclaimer alert, they may have vested interest in making this be true, as they are one of these edge providers. But it's a post by Andy Zhang. I'll go ahead and just guess the pronunciation of your last name there, Andy. All about his thoughts on this trend that we are seeing towards moving more and more of our compute and maybe eventually our storage to edge nodes. The CDN is no longer for static, it's now for dynamic. And this is a transition that he's watching, he's being a part of, and he wants to see more of. There are some problems, there are some things to get over, but his post goes into the details of why things are headed in this direction. Did anybody take a look at this or have opinions on whether or not Andy's on track here? Are we actually moving the future of the web to the edge, or is this kind of one of those trends that's going to come and go? What are your thoughts? Does it serve users? Does it serve developers? Is it just here to serve a few vendors who have these vested interests? Anybody, literally anybody can talk.
My favorite thing about this is that I don't have to think about it.
Yeah.
Right? Like you have all these systems where, as a web developer, I can just act as if they didn't exist, and then the user experience is better.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah. No, and that's like a useful thing, right? Because it allows us to like energy into the areas and kind of domain influence, right, as web developers. But I would say for me specifically, this is very, because I think it's a huge win for users. IO is another very interesting company that our very own Divya works at. She's a platform engineer there. But Fly.io is like taken that concept of a CDN and said, hey, like your processing of data and like compute on the server should also be localized and like near your users, not just your front end, not just your static resources, right? So that's exciting. And I think this kind of shift towards, having boxes of, compute boxes closer to the users is really reflective of like what the internet should have always been. It just kind of sucks. Things kind of started in the Valley and the West Coast of the United States. the United States and have it's just kind of stayed there for a while, and now we're moving on up and out, in the words of
Right.
right. So hopefully this is a good thing. I hope.
So let me throw a little bit of a devil's advocate take on this. So at this time, at least, I mean, Amelia said it's something she doesn't have to necessarily think about, and these things kind of, you can either ignore it and maybe your stuff will deploy there, but maybe it won't, or it's going to happen kind of at a lower level. It seems like today it does require re-architecting a lot of existing things if you're going to take them there. I mean, if we talk about serverless functions, it's not like I can just take my monolith and just say now it's edge compute. And so there's a whole lot of code, a whole lot of apps, a whole lot of companies that are out there on the web today that probably never will, or not with the current code base, do that. And so until it can be completely seamless, you know, take my existing Django or my Rails or my Fastify, you know, Happy, whatever my framework of choices app that exists and is like serving users, until I can actually just take that thing and just ship it around the world, are we actually all going to go there, or is it just going to be like toy projects, new startups, etc.? Is it going to be the critical mass that makes it to the edge, or not?
Yeah.
What do you think, Nick?
That's kind of what I was thinking. Like, I don't have a ton of experience with serverless and all of this, but it'd be great if I didn't have to think about it ever, and it just, you know,
Yeah.
it's the best thing to happen. It just happens.
Right. Right now, today, you do have to think about it. You do have to plan for it. It's getting easier. I think the fact that containers and cloud native technologies are allowing things like Fly is not really serverless. Disclaimer: Fly is a sponsor of ours. That's not why we're talking about them.
Yeah.
Fly's
It's
not really
just cool new
serverless. They have some
technology.
serverless stuff. Yeah, exactly. But like they are like, it's like VMs, or it's like containers. It's like a runtime that you can run an entire web app inside of. But some of these things are just like streamlined, slimmed down functions, and they have these like functional architectures that require you to like constantly be thinking about, does this run in Cloudflare workers, or will it work on Lambda, etc. So maybe we're just kind of like at the beginning of it, where it's going to happen underneath us, and that will be grand. Maybe not.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean,
That's- I was
Go
gonna
ahead,
say
Amelia.
that's my hope for sure. Is
Yeah.
I never have to think about it, and then it slowly just works. And I think also the other devil's advocate is like this is still enabling web developers to create like more and more code that you have to send to users, which I feel very enabled, and I enjoy doing that. But I try not to read articles like this that make me feel like it's an okay thing to do.
All right. Well, at least you're moving it less distance to them,
Yeah.
right? So if you're already going to have code shipped into the browser, and you're going to at least ship that code around the world to be close to your users, that's I think an unmitigated win. If that then encourages you to increase that amount of code, I don't know. I feel like that's more on you than on it, but maybe it's not. Maybe there's a unvirtuous cycle there. Good point. That's one of the things Andy did in this post, is he talked about the performance of running compute around the world at CDN edge nodes. And he set up a test between Heroku and Dino Deploy. Of course, that's their offering at dino.com. But there are others as well. And showed just like the time to first byte at these different locations around the world based on a single app server from Heroku in one place, and then against these edges. And I mean, no surprise here, it was faster because it's just geographically located near the end user, right? Which is cool. So we'll link that we will link that post up for y'all to read if you find it so interesting. But let's move on to the next story. Let's kick it over to Amel. What you got?
yeah, this one's a really hot topic, and coincidentally, I was having a conversation with some friends last night about this topic of like monetization on the internet and how we really need to figure out a way to do this cleanly through standards because we cannot leave, our content creators in the hands of companies like Google that are just they have a very different specific set of incentives, right? So this story for me is actually about, it's from Brave. It's from the Brave browser team. For those of you who are like, Brave the browser, let me just give you a quick summary. So Brave is browser that's been around for a few years now. It's been my primary browser on my personal machine, on my phone. It means some of my experiences on the web are not great as a result of it because Brave is intentionally like very privacy focused and they aggressively block trackers and all that jazz. It was one of the founders of Brave is Brendan Eich, who's like, you know, also created JavaScript, ECMAScript, right? And love Brendan, hate Brendan, doesn't matter. Like, I'm just stating he's one of the people involved in this project. He's been a little controversial in our community lately. And Brendan, I think I'm excited. I was excited about this project. I still am. But there's a crypto element to this, which I have just always ignored and have not right. But there is something called the BAT, basic attention token. And so the idea is, your attention is time, actually show you ads in a private way, and you can get you can earn and get BAT credits and whatever else. I don't really do anything with that personally, so I can't speak to that. But I mean, for me, it's just the best browser in terms of like limiting your tracking footprint. And so what Brave came out with is this a bit like they're letting you now, hey, just through the browser, opt out of those annoying cookie banners, right? The which are getting like infinitely more complex, right? Right? Because agree, accept or not accept to now it's like or see the options that and we'll bring a confusing menu
we have
that's
6 kinds of cookies.
yeah. Weird language, I mean, it's not the greatest stuff. So they've kind of launched this ability for us to just have one setting in our browser, and they will try to the best of their abilities to block all of the cookies. And one of the interesting things that they pointed out in this article is that they and it's not like the consent tracking, the consent form things, ironically actually track users, even though like their whole goal was to not track. So it's just in addition to even if you hit like deny, sometimes you tracked, like you're trusting that they're doing what they say that they're
right, because you've interacted with the consent banner itself, and so they're using that to track you. And there are a lot of extensions that go through and they'll click that for you, like it's like a browser extension, which is a nice user experience, but it's not saving you from that privacy tracking moment.
Exactly. That's exactly right. And so what Brave is able to do, because they are building this into the browser and it's not a third-party extension or whatever else, they're just leveraging the block you origin. They're like going deep, a layer down to not only do the thing where they hide and disable like the banners, any scrolling, limited scrolling or anything to do with that, but they are also making sure that the cookies trackers themselves are not tracking you. And I was like, yes. And yeah, I mean, before I say more, I'm waiting to hear like cheers and excitement from all of you. So you all are very like mellow about this news.
Sorry, that goes on for like 45 seconds.
Yeah, it does. So yeah, what do you think? Is this enough? And Nick is nodding no.
He is.
It's an
Nick,
audio
you can go.
podcast, Nick.
It's worth noting Brave is Chrome wrapper.
That's why.
Yeah.
That's why?
That's why. Yeah, pretty much.
Why is that a deal breaker for you? Just because of the homogeny, or what do you call it?
Yeah. I'm standing my ground, and I have a Chromium browser installed for apps like this, like Riverside, that we're using to record this
That
podcast.
requires it.
Yep. But otherwise, it's completely closed. The one I use is Vivaldi, but I'm not a fan of Chromium browsers in general.
Yeah. Amelia?
I'm not so moral in my stance against browsers.
Fair.
I am.
I wish I were.
Chrome user is my guess.
I am.
Yeah.
I keep trying to switch, but it's like you've been using it for
There's
so
nothing
long.
wrong with that.
Chrome feels like baby. Don't you think Chrome feels
hold
like
on.
baby?
What?
I don't know.
What's
I
that
don't
mean?
know what baby gap feels like.
What's that
I
mean?
mean, it's like Gap. It's like, oh,
Babies.
everyone. It's like Gap. Like everyone can walk in, all body shapes, sizes, whatever. Like you can walk out with something, and so Gap is like lowest common denominator for many Americans in terms of like, okay, some, but also it's baby Gap because it's like non-controversial and cute, but also just kind of like problematic.
Why is baby problematic? I don't understand.
baby
Like,
gaps are
babies
just
need
kind of-
clothes.
I don't know.
All right, quarter tank. Amel. Quarter tank
Yeah,
analogy
it's quarter
over there.
tank.
Fair
Quarter.
enough. So Amelia, curious, what hooks does Chrome have in you that when you try to switch off to it, you're like, yeah, I want Chrome back.
I think a lot of it is things mostly work. So when I'm making websites, I can at least pretend that it works.
Yeah, so Stockholm syndrome is what you're saying. Got it.
Yeah,
Except in Firefox.
Yeah.
yeah, works best
Okay.
in Chrome.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so
Sure.
I mean, I haven't had Chrome on this new machine at all. I do have Brave on it. It's not my primary driver. I'm a Safari guy. I love
yeah.
Safari's shared tabs between phone and computer. I use it all the time. I can't live without it.
Is it weird
So
that I
that's-
didn't know that? But that's only because I've had an iPhone for like 6 months.
It's
and I
amazing. You
don't
open
use
it on your
Safari
phone and then you go
iPhone.
back to your desk and then you click on it and it's open on your desk and you're like, this
I
is
know. I think I've
amazing.
noticed that on my iPad. Yeah.
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 I just love that feature. So that integration for me is what keeps me there. But I use
Yeah.
Brave for Riverside, and I use Brave for like software development stuff because I like you get the Chrome Dev Tools built in. So the Dev Tools are awesome. They're way better than the ones that are in Safari, in my opinion. And you know what? I've tried Firefox over the years, and for me, it's just like baby gap. No, I don't know what that means. It's just
We need to come up with
ugly
a-
every time I open it.
Yeah.
It just feels ugly. And I feel bad saying that, but Firefox, you're just kind of ugly to me, and I can't use you because of that. And I'm sure I could theme you and make you pretty, but ain't nobody got time for that,
Ain't nobody got time for that.
And-
Yeah, I think my problem with Baby Gap is more that it's just like promotes consumerism in children or something like that. But that's
Love
like a
that she's still
deeper
defending
problem.
her
right?
analogy.
That's like, yeah.
Let it
Different
go.
Not
podcast.
excited
Let
to
it
go to
go.
Baby Gap.
Different podcast. Yeah, I'm letting it go. It's fine. So anyway, so what's really cool about this Brave thing is it's actually the very interesting call out, right? So there's two approaches, right? So like you mentioned this, like there's like extensions that will do the clicking for you, whatever else. But this is the first time a browser is giving you this option. And that actually allows you to not only make sure that it's blocked, but like you're also like you don't have to trust them, right? Them, right? Which is a case. Like some people, there's like interfaces and APIs and SDKs where you can, trust them, and like that's not. We don't want to trust people working on ad tech. I'm sorry. It's a shady. We can probably, editors just cut this out. I don't even want this in the show. I'm like, I don't want like backlash on this. But so what's really cool about Brave is putting out there is that like, they're building this into the browser, giving users an option that's like trustable and safe, right? There's no creepy extension that's like that you're adding. But they also kind of point out that Google is taking aggressive steps to push forward some new standards, which would make it difficult, right? So Google has been kind of waging this war, which is what been losing some market share, not enough, but they've been doing a lot of stuff that's not very good for user privacy. of links in our show notes. I think this should be its own discussion. But there's a proposal that they have called Web, and Web Bundles has this manifest v3, and that would a lot of the capabilities that would, that protect user privacy, that would enable this type of thing. So, it's going back to that problem where like, hey, Google's incentive for how they make money, their market share for Chrome with Chrome and their ability to influence standards, right? Like we're getting into murky territory here, and there's not enough left on the Chrome team that I know of anyway that are really like fighting this issue as hard as it should be fought, right? Because really what's been going on at Google for years is like there's people inside actively fighting for user privacy and trying their hardest to like push back on the business, right? And so the idea is like how open, we need to keep it that way, and and so this is kind of really raising a lot of interesting areas and points of active points of contention within the standards community and the privacy community.
I agree. I think Nick's point is valid with regard to rendering engine diversity, and Brave's lack of that is that you're still Chromium, and so you're still doing that to the rest of the web by using it. You're not giving the diversity that you get with a Firefox, or even with a Safari, or with a Vivaldi, or with Lynx, LYNX, which is a command line renderer, which is still out there. We have time for one more story.
Okay.
And it's going to be who feels the most passion for theirs. Nick, Amelia, who's really passionate? I know neither one of you probably are, by the way you wrote about them in the doc. Who wants to do theirs? We'll do one of yours.
Go ahead,
Nick,
Amelia.
Neither one of them want to do it. They're both
Okay,
going to
okay.
defer. Okay, Amelia, we'll do yours.
It's okay. So mine isn't news, but it's happening. So yesterday, I think Linear, which is some task tracking app, their marketing website got DDoSed, and so they shared a Figma file, which was their design doc for their rewrite of the marketing site. And I just thought it was really interesting. Like you could see everyone's cursors in there. There were like hundreds of people poking around in a Figma file, and they had like a whole Q&A. Apparently Figma also has spaces. So like they were giving tours of like, this is how we designed it. I think some of the really interesting things there are like, for our marketing site, how much are you getting that's not just like the static designs, right? As long as you can read the text and see the pretty pictures, that's pretty much all you need. And then, like, I think they ended up like way in the positive, right? Like they got way more attention than they would have if they hadn't had their website go down. So I thought that was cool.
That's
That is super
hilarious.
cool.
And I'm
Yes,
like, I want
great
to be a
marketing.
fly in the wall. Yeah. On that room when that decision was being made. Like,
Yeah.
because I would have just gone on the table and I would have been like, brilliant. Like, right? Because really, as a startup, you don't want to be wasting time. Like, any time you spend on anything before you can get it in front of users and get feedback is like, it's precious time. So cut the middleman out. Like, do you even really need a real web? Be a PDF. Let's just put the PDF on the homepage.
Yeah, exactly.
And this was great marketing for Linear because I hadn't heard of
PDFs are
it. And
clickable.
Totally.
literally
Yeah.
right before this, I was I was admitting to my team how Jira illiterate I am, and this looks so much nicer.
That's a better way.
it's
to
pretty
build
nice.
Products according to
It's
themselves.
awesome.
Yeah.
I-
Great job, Linear team.
I think it's also like, sorry, we're probably out of time, but it's better than a PDF, right? Because like when you look at things on the web, they're like behind these glass cases, and you kind of just go and look at what companies have built. But like people could go in there, they could add comments, they could talk to each other, which feels kind of like websites need to be more communal.
Yeah, it almost turned into like an MMO for a little while.
Yeah,
Or like
yeah, exactly. Yeah,
until they closed it. Like, let's all collaborate on this Figma thing and talk about it and stuff. It's crazy.
That's
That's the cool
hilarious.
stuff of the web. Amelia, you win. Best story of
Yeah,
the week.
for sure. For
Congratulations.
sure, hands down. Who cares about internet privacy and,
And
stupid
whatever it
thing
was I
that's
talked about.
privacy's been dead for 10 years.
I think
Why are we
I
even
win
talking
by
about
not
this?
playing.
Pardon?
That's true.
I
Nick
think
wins.
I win by not playing.
Yeah. Anyways,
Well, I think we win because we stopped Nick from talking about.
his beloved TypeScript. Oh,
Nice.
good play.
You mean?
Yeah.
Do you
we're
mean?
all out of
Do you mean
time.
that project that turned 10 years old?
Oh.
And that's all the time we have left for.
Wait, did
Yeah,
TypeScript kill privacy? Is there like, I said privacy's been dead for 10 years. You said turn 10. I mean, there's only one logical correlation I could make.
Whoa.
You know?
Yes. The breaking news.
TypeScript. Oh my God. TypeScript. Nick is like having a fit. He's like, how dare you mispronounce my beloved TypeScript? But yes, his beloved TypeScript. Yes, beloved. Yeah, no. Script killed privacy. You heard it here first, kids.
Yes. We're going to start a flame war with that one. All right, we got to stop. We'll be back. Those are your headlines. We'll be back with some HeadLIES. See what I did there? Right after this.
That's pretty good.
Oh my God, you can so tell this is a Friday for Jerod. Jerod is like, I'm the one I thought one on quarter tank. You're like a quarter of a quarter tank. You're just like,
that's
I'm
an
really
eighth.
mellow today.
I can do that
Mellow
math.
Jerod. Pardon?
So that's an eighth. I can do that math.
You can do that math. Good job.
A quarter of a quarter.
Quarter of a quarter. No, you.
All right. So I'll just go ahead and explain HeadLIES to everybody, including the listener. So we'll just go back in and I'll talk about it. So you guys will learn how to play it as I describe it. Okay?
All right.
Okay. All right. It is time for HeadLIES, the award-worthy game show segment, which did have a theme song, but Nick let me start that over. It wasn't Nick. It was Cable. But Cable
Nick on
laughed
the
at it so
mind.
much that I had to delete the file and never play it again. So, no jingle for HeadLIES, but it is a game, and this is the first time we're going to have the game with multiple players. It's always been a one-player game. I played it against Nick, and then I played it against K-Ball. Here we have 3 participants. So here's how it works. I have scoured the web for various headlines. I have also fabricated some headlines. Each headline also has a description, like the first paragraph from the story. And so I will read a headline, at which point each of you will have an opportunity to guess whether it's true or false. Okay? If you guess immediately right after the headline, you get 2 points on the table. So you can either win or lose 2 points. You can then opt to hear the description, the first paragraph from the story. And after that description is read, now you can guess true or false, and you get 1 point or lose 1 point. All right, so you have more opportunity to score points right after the headline, but you have less information, and then afterwards, it's less points, but more information. Any questions? Each of you will guess separately, so you're playing against each other. And we tally the points at the end of all of the headlines. Whoever has the most points wins. Sound good?
What if I just copy all my guesses to be the same as Nick's?
Then you sabotage the game and it's not any fun.
Oh, that's like, am I getting in a different room when Nick is giving his results, his
No,
answers?
each of you will go in a turn, but I'll vary the turns so that
I
you
see.
can't just go after Nick each time.
Damn, that's my plan.
I'm glad you said the plan out loud, so now I can defend against it.
Okay, fine.
All right, are we ready? Round 1 of HeadLIES. Apple's mixed reality headset to offer iris scanning for payments, logging in. There's your headline. So, based on that alone, you should decide whether it's a true headline or one that's fabricated. Or you can say, I'll defer till the description. Okay? So, Amelia, what do you think?
Yes.
Yes, what? Yes, it's true? Yes, I do think.
Yes, true. I think.
Okay,
Yes.
so you think it's true.
Yeah,
Okay.
I can go with that.
Mel.
No. Too obvious.
That's false. Okay. So you are both, I will just restate, you're both wagering 2 points at this point. You could
Uh,
say
uh,
I need
wait.
more information and wait for the description.
Yeah, sure,
Okay.
sure.
All right. So Nick, what would you like to do? You want to say true, false, or do you want to wait and hear the description of the paragraph?
I'm gonna say false. If you ask Apple, they don't have an AR headset.
You want me to read the headline again?
I think I
Maybe.
one reading, so I would say if he gets another reading, then I want his
No.
points if he wins.
He is already.
They're not
You
gonna.
can't just take his points.
They're not gonna be able. No. A certain company couldn't even fabricate legs for a demo. Okay, it's not. They're not gonna be reading.
Okay, so round one. The headline is Apple's mixed reality headset to offer iris scanning for payments logging in. Amelia says that's a true headline. Amal and Nick both think that is a made-up headline. And the truth of the matter is that is a true headline. So
a true
Amelia scores
headline,
2
yeah.
points.
Yes.
Yes.
And you guys both lose 2 points. So I guess in a sense, Amal, you did get Nick's points. Just
Oh, burn, Jerod. Wah. Okay, we can move on. Next
All
question.
right.
Please.
Here we go. Next headline.
Okay, next headline.
The U.S. Department of Veteran Affairs postpones rollout of an electronic health record systems developed by Oracle under a $50 billion contract until the year 2030.
Oh my God.
Nick, we'll start with you this time. You can guess or you can wait for the paragraph. I can also reread the headline if it would help.
I'm gonna say that that's true. It sounds
Nick
just
says
preposterous enough to be true.
Okay. Amelia, what do you think?
I feel like it would take a very creative brain to come up with that.
So true. I
Yeah.
feel like she was fishing there. Like she wanted me to blush.
Yeah. She's
Like, oh,
reading
yes,
her body
she's trying to-
cues.
yeah. And it did. It really did. No. Okay. Amal, what do you think?
So I mean, I think honestly, all I've been thinking about since I heard this headline is like, I wonder how they're designing their database schemas because they better extensible architecture so that they have like a table that has a, for all the different diseases because by 2030 of different things to be worried about than we are today. So I'm like, I hope this isn't like hard, but I don't know. It's Oracle. It could go either way. I'm gonna say false.
False.
I
No one's
assume that you have
Yeah,
to
interested.
say
I think
Oracle.
the government would be, especially close to election time, that's a too big of an embarrassment to leak. I mean, really, I could give like a bunch of college students this as a hackathon challenge to build over the weekend, and it probably would still be HIPAA compliant. So
But that sounds
if
exactly
Oracle
like what
can't-
Oracle charges for.
if Oracle
Doesn't
can't build a simple HIPAA compliant app, takes them 10 years. Like we have,
Yes.
yeah, no, that's a
Absolutely.
canceled contract.
That's Oracle's bread and butter.
Yeah. Okay. So I will say no. I have faith in our government's ability to somewhat use our money a little more responsibly, but I could be wrong. Please don't prove me wrong. Is probably
Please
what.
don't prove me wrong. So,
Yes.
the headline, the U.S. Department of Veteran Affairs postpones rollout of electronic health record systems developed by Oracle under a $50 billion contract until the year 2030 is not real. That is a false headline.
Yes. Woohoo!
So, Nick, -2. Amelia, -2. And Amel, +2. So,
But
you are
good
back
job.
at 0. Nick's at
Good job picking
-4.
that.
So I will say it was not a creative mind. What I did was I took a real headline and I changed the values. So it's
Yeah.
actually true in a sense, except for it's not 50 billion, it's 10 billion, and it's not 2030, it's 2023.
Yeah, but still, I mean, my God, anything billion to build an app like that, my goodness.
It's still $10 billion and it's still delayed until June of 2023. But I thought that a 10-year delay would be just preposterous enough that you couldn't think that. But it's our government and it's Oracle, so I guess anything can be believed. Could you imagine announcing a 10-year delay though? Like a decade.
I mean, is iOS
sound
even going to still
preposterous.
exist? Who knows, right? It's
know.
like you're building an iOS app for 10 years. Like, it'll be like IO something else, you know, in 10 years. Like,
Yeah,
10-year
you're gonna
delay
know
in
a whole lot
Oracle.
more in 10 years.
This podcast brought to you by Oracle.
It's probably never. Okay.
yeah. All right.
So after 2 rounds of HeadLIES, Amelia has 0, Nick has -4, and Amel has 0. So it's a 2-way tie at the top. You lost 2 in the
okay.
first round, and you scored 2 in the second round.
Oh,
This
okay.
is shaping up to be just like all of our other.
This feels like a really sad pointing scheme, you know? Why do we have to lose points? Can't we just not gain them? But it's fine.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah, it's okay.
Oh.
It's fine.
I'm making this up.
I think I'm enjoying Nick being at -4 right now, so it's all good.
Exponential. All right, our next headline. Here we go. Heroku reverses course, plans to reintroduce free plans after facing community backlash. Now, we'll start with Amel. I will remind you, you can all wait and hear the paragraphs. Each one of these has a paragraph, but it's less points. So, do you think that's true or false? Or do you want to hear the paragraph?
Yeah, can I hear the headline again?
The headline is
Heroku.
Heroku reverses course, plans to reintroduce free plans after facing community backlash.
Yeah, I would say that's likely true. The only problem is I haven't been following what Heroku's been up to. So I wouldn't be surprised if like they took a dip in the market and then they're like, no more freemium, compute is expensive now. And I don't know. I'm gonna just risk it and I'll say true.
Okay, let's go now to Nick.
I feel like I would have heard about it because I heard about them removing their free plans, even though I didn't have any reason to know about Heroku before that. So I'm gonna say that it's false.
Okay, false.
But you did hear about the free plans being redacted, right?
I did, yes.
That's what I didn't hear about because I don't follow Heroku anymore. So yeah. So that's anyways. Okay, cool.
Okay, Amelia.
I agree with Nick. I feel like I would have heard about this. So
False. Okay, so on Heroku reversing course, we have Amel true, Nick false, Amelia false. Nobody wants to hear the paragraph that I painstakingly typed out as I made this story up. Fine.
Why don't you just read the paragraph and
Okay.
announce your results? And then maybe
Like
we
this-
could reassess. Can I have a bonus round if we want
Okay,
to
I'm
change our
liking this.
mind?
Let's change the rules as we go.
Yeah. I mean,
Here's my paragraph. This is a good one, folks. After offering them for over a decade, Heroku announced in August that it will eliminate all of its free services starting November 28th. However, multiple sources inside Salesforce have told TechCrunch that Heroku GM Bob Wise will soon announce a course correction that keeps free plans available for accounts under certain conditions. The details of those conditions are still unknown.
Yes, yeah. I'm gonna stick with my same answer. I think it's true.
He already said it was false.
Yeah, I made it up.
Oh, you said it was false? You said
I
it was
said I
false?
painstakingly made this paragraph up.
That sounded so believable.
Thank you. I wrote that.
I was like, yep, that sounds true. Especially if it's like leaked insider information. Oh my god.
It's definitely believable, which is the basis of a good lie, right?
That's
Yeah.
so good. I was like, my god, Jerry, there's no way you made up that paragraph.
Thank you.
I'm
Thank you.
so
It really had me
impressed.
panicking because there's no way like it's entirely possible that I would have just missed that news.
Well, especially if it was a
'Cause I don't
leak from
care.
inside the company, not an official announcement.
Yeah.
That's why I kind of wanted you
Right.
guys to wait for the paragraph, but you went ahead and guessed, and you got it right, Nick. Good job. So,
Yeah, good
Amel and
job.
Nick
good
got
job.
it right.
No, Amelia.
Oh, sorry,
had it
Amelia and Nick got it
Yes.
right. Yeah, same.
I don't follow
letters.
Heroku, so I was like,
Yeah.
I don't really.
So Mel's now at -2. Amelia
Yeah.
goes to 2, and Nick ties Amel at -2. So we have a tight race here with Amelia winning currently. All right, there's 2 more left. Are we ready for the next round?
Yeah, I'm still negative.
He's used to it.
Yeah.
That's
Very
okay.
it's just stupid.
I don't win. Jerry's games.
Oh, I'm sad. Okay.
All right, the next headline. Decentraland's reported to have only 38 daily active users in their $1.3 billion ecosystem.
Web3 thing.
Decentraland is a Web3 platform, yes.
Are you just trying to like troll me right now on a podcast?
Okay. Who wants to go first? We'll go back to Amelia. Do you want to guess now, or do you want to hear the paragraph?
Oh, I have any answer. I want to hear that paragraph.
Okay, Amel, do you want to guess now or hear the paragraph?
I want to hear the paragraph.
And Nick, do you want to guess now or hear the paragraph?
Can you repeat the headline?
Sure. Decentraland's reported to have only 38 daily active users in their $1.3 billion ecosystem.
I'm gonna say that's true.
Okay.
Before you read the paragraph.
So Nick goes in true before the paragraph. Now I'll read the paragraph. What's going on in the metaverse these days, you might ask? Looking at two of the biggest companies with over $1 billion valuations, one data point suggests that users may not be returning every day. According to data aggregator DappRadar, the Ethereum-based virtual world Decentraland has 38 active users in the past 24 hours, while competitor, the Sandbox, had 522 active users in that same time. That is your details. Now we go back to Amelia. What do you think? True or false? This is your last.
I'm going with true. That sounded just weird enough to be real.
Okay, and Amel, what do you think?
True. I mean, the only reason why I'm like hesitating is because I'm like, I wonder if you did another thing where you changed the parameter, you like variabilize the
Yeah.
instead of 38, it's like 100 active users, and so
Right.
I hope you're not that. Say it's true, hoping that
Okay.
you're not that mean.
That is exactly what I was wondering too. If it's like, because I feel like I heard something about this, but I don't know the details of
The numbers.
Well, the truth of the matter is that this one is true. I did not change any numbers. That is exactly what was reported.
Wow.
So everybody got it
Nice.
right. Good job, y'all.
And Nick's still
Nick
at
goes
0.
plus. Yeah, he goes +2 though, and you guys
He's
only get
+2 now?
+1.
Okay.
I mean, for the round.
Oh
So
yeah.
He goes back to 0.
Yeah.
So I mean, yeah, he's still
That's
at 0.
what I meant. I was talking about his final score. His final score is 0.
But Amel goes
I'm
plus.
sorry, this is just so funny.
Well, you're at -1, so I'm not sure.
You know?
I love how she's laughing at you, but she's actually losing to you at this point.
No, what do you mean? I'm like +2.
Oh, sorry, I added, not subtracted. Hold on, let me.
No.
Sorry a second. Hold on. So you got -2 in the first round, and then -2 in the. Oh no, that's Amelia. You guys' names are too close.
Oh yeah.
Amal
Blame
and I were
us.
tied.
Blame us, Jerod.
I think I should be 0 and she's -1.
That's what I
I think
have.
that's right. Yeah.
I
Yeah,
think
so you're
I'm
losing
probably
still.
I'm probably still losing. No, for sure. Yeah.
Okay, that's why I was making fun of you, because you're laughing at Nick, but you're still losing.
But I think
I thought it was funny. So I was right. I was right to laugh at you.
Yeah.
Okay, Amelia is winning though,
yeah.
and she has. I have to go back to the top. The scoreboard is weird on this game.
It's confusing.
She got it right. She got it wrong. And
Oh.
she got it right. Amelia has 1. Okay.
No,
so-
I have 3.
Wait a second. Did I skip one? She got it right.
Maybe I'm wrong.
No, I think you're right.
She got the first one right, second one wrong. That puts her at 0. Okay, third one
Yeah.
right puts her at 2. Yes. Fourth one right puts her at 3. You're correct. Nick, cheat score
Trying
for
to
us,
take
will
my
ya?
points.
All right,
Three,
last
zero,
round.
-1.
Last round. So if Amelia plays it conservative, she could probably walk away with this one. Meta avatar legs demo created by motion capture, not live VR. And we will go.
Okay.
Sorry, we're losing it here. That quarter tank is emptied up quickly.
Yeah.
We'll go to
The
Amel.
eighth tank, you mean? Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So the Meta has legs, and it's in VR.
Meta avatar legs demo. Did you know about the Meta announcement with the Quest Pro and all that? That's what this is
I
about.
mean, I actively don't follow any news from Meta, but
Okay,
I
so
do know
here's
that
the
yeah,
headline as it reads:
the
Meta
VR
Avatar Legs demo,
investments.
quote, created by motion capture, not live
Mhm.
VR. You might want to hear more information if you don't know what that's talking about.
Yeah, sure. Please, more information.
All right, so now we'll go to Amelia. Do you want to guess now, or do you want to hear more?
That's absolutely the truth.
Okay, she's going true on a 2-pointer. Nick, how about yourself?
Me too. I already made this joke in the Apple one, so I know
I
it's
know I
true.
heard you.
Okay, I'm
Let's go
gonna
for it.
cheat and say I'm gonna change my mind, and I'm gonna just say
Okay, so
no,
she's
true.
she's doubling back. We'll only allow it because she's in last place
I
currently.
think you should read the paragraph
I'm
though,
not in
because it's
last
such a
place.
hilarious story.
I want to hear
Yes,
the
you
paragraph,
are. You're
yeah.
at -1. That's last. A key segment of the Connect keynote this week, announcing that Meta's avatars would eventually feature legs, was produced with animations created from motion capture, the company said. So they couldn't actually do legs in VR, so they motion captured them to demo what it's going to be like when they can do legs in
Wow.
VR. And
Wow.
it's pretty
I mean,
funny.
this is what I call like MVP thinking, you know? It's like
Yeah.
we don't need a whole person, we just need half.
Yeah.
It's like
How,
we're
how do
just
you do
gonna
that though?
it's like,
They
It's like
just
the old
had,
saying, fake legs till you make legs, you know?
yeah, fake it till you make it. Yeah,
they
literally.
got
No, I
they
mean
got
that just
dragged.
yeah,
They
gives
got
me a lot
dragged
of
when they
faith.
had like the the horrible avatars come out a few weeks ago or a few months ago or whatever, and then how do you just go up and say like this whole thing that we pivoted to? Yeah, we faked it. Like, how do you do that?
It wasn't their best moment, was it?
No.
The best thing though is you have to go watch the Carmack Unscripted. John Carmack just doesn't. He just goes, "Well, I told you if we weren't doing this by next year, I'd be disappointed, and I'm disappointed."
That's good.
Tells it like it is.
Yeah.
Yeah. I just wish we yeah, it's probably best that I stay quiet. So
That's a good title for the show. It's probably best if I stay quiet. After 5 rounds of HeadLIES, our new champion, first time champion, it's Amelia.
Hey, hey.
yeah.
And we'll be right back for some pro tip time. All
Okay,
right,
so is
Parker.
Amelia's video off for anyone else?
It is. Sorry, my computer
Yeah.
almost died. I had to kill a lot of things very
No, it's
quickly.
okay.
You gotta
Okay.
close Chrome.
You have a charger
Close Chrome.
Yeah, the battery's
Yeah,
been
sorry.
having a hard
for
time.
your battery life, for what it's worth.
Well, Riverside won't let you use Safari.
Yeah, I can't do that.
Pardon?
Riverside won't let
what?
you use Safari. They're all like,
Oh yes, yes, yes. Right, yes, yeah, no, I know. Yeah.
I feel like I was
No,
very
I know. I
harsh
tried
on
to
a lot
use
of companies in
Firefox
that
and
last
I
segment.
use other browsers.
Yeah, it was pretty harsh. We got harsh. We're getting harsh on a Friday.
No, it for a while it didn't let you use Brave.
I know. It won't
Yeah.
again once they fix their detection stuff. I think it just broke for a
Oh.
while.
Oh no.
Oh,
That's a mess.
incompetency for the win,
I'm turning into that old man yells at.
Just
and
gonna have to
says,
like monkey patch their JavaScript though, I think is what I'm gonna have to do. But we'll see.
I'm,
Anywho.
side note, I'm
have you
so
ever done
impressed
that?
by this Brave cookie in the Gregor Kelsey thing in the chat room, Nick. It's
Yeah,
amazing.
that's you need to put that in the
Brave
general
block
chat.
cookies.
What is in the background?
"I
It looks
think
like some
that's
sort
Brave."
of a demon.
Spooky. Yeah.
uh,
It's
Yeah, I
coming
mean
for us.
it's
Sword.
very scary.
That's what happens when you put Gregor Kelsey in there. Cool pictures come out. I love
Yeah.
that. Just a giant cookie. It's a Brave cookie.
It looks tasty.
It does look
Yeah,
good.
so Jerod, I think subtracting is like really complicated. On my there.
I need to just context-free splice that sentence out and put it in something. Subtracting is just like
Thanks.
really complicated.
On
No, I
my
think you're
there.
right.
Don't forget how it is. So I
but
would
when
say
you-
maybe we just stick to because I don't even know what points I had. What did I end up
Well,
with? Because
once
I
you
feel like
said
I ended
that-
up with yeah.
It reminded me why I did subtractions. It was because somebody didn't show up, so it was me versus one person. And so in order for me to play, they had to lose points, and I would, you know what I'm saying?
Oh, I
So
see.
that's the way, and I just kept the rule because that's how I played it in the past. But it doesn't make sense with multiple participants.
I
So
see.
yeah,
Okay, yeah.
I
Can I-
agree with
Okay,
you.
so you agree with me that this just did not make sense.
There's no reason to subtract points. You just don't get the points.
Okay, cool. It's
It's
like I
punitive.
don't even know what I ended up with. Like it was just so hard to keep track of everything,
think you were
especially
in
because there's
last.
like 2 points. It was like one, it was like description, no description,
Yeah.
yeah.
Well, it's a work in progress. We'll adapt.
It's fine. It's fine. No. It's like
I'm just happy that my Heroku story got you because I put some work into that sucker.
that was really good.
Thank you.
Really
All right,
good.
we ready for pro tip time?
Oh. I thought we'd run out of time.
We're close. I mean, where are we? We're at probably at 50 minutes. Once you take the.
I
Oh, you make legs. That's a really awesome title.
That's
Like
pretty
we
good.
should that title.
I think so too, probably.
Yeah.
I'll see
subtraction
my subtraction is really hard.
Subtractions. Yeah, but that's during the break.
Yeah.
I took Nick's story of the week, so I'm happy to cede my pro tip of the
Fair
week
enough.
to
Who has what they feel like is a good pro tip? Amel, you have a good one?
Mine were
I do,
gonna
but I
be
feel
just
like-
on process, some things that I've been doing in my life.
Okay.
I don't really think they're particularly good. I mean, they're good, but like by all means, like let's I'm happy to go last if we have time.
All
Like,
right.
I don't.
Well, I was just gonna say we can cut this to a shorter version. I have one thing to say. It'll be pretty fast. We can. Amelia, you don't have to go if you don't have one, because we probably have like 5 minutes, maybe 7 minutes
Okay.
left before we're like getting long. All right. So we'll go in. We'll start with Amel, and then we'll go Nick, and then I'll close it out with a quick one,
Nice.
and then we'll say goodbye. Sound good?
Sounds good.
I love it.
Okay. Open marker here. All right, y'all. You know what time it is? Pro tip time.
Pro tip time.
The
I always think of
award-winning
like a
jingle.
dorky robot dancing whenever I hear that jingle. It's like
Accurate.
go up on the downbeat and just kind of
Yeah.
uncoordinated. Anyways.
Accurate.
It's kind of like that Steve
Not that
Buscemi,
you
hello fellow
particularly
kids.
dance like that, Nick. I just meant that the beats
Oh, no.
remind me of that. But anyways,
Accurate.
Nick is a world-renowned karaoke artist, so I wouldn't
Ooh.
sleep on his skills. This guy can sing,
What?
so I'm guessing he can
What?
dance. If he can sing like that,
dude,
oh yeah.
no way.
Oh
Can-
man.
Can we get a demo?
Yeah, can we just do a karaoke podcast?
We should do a karaoke segment.
Oh, I'm busy that day.
Yeah.
You're definitely showing up. Thank you.
We're gonna have to pitch it to the boss upstairs.
When I went to JS Nation and React Summit in Amsterdam, I ruined my voice doing "Kiss" by Prince.
Oh,
It was
nice.
epic and amazing, and I loved it. It was the first time doing karaoke like since the pandemic started. And
Yeah.
Right.
so fun.
I'm looking for a setup, so I'm gonna hit you up for a recommendation because I'm thinking I want to start having karaoke parties. It's like winter's coming, I need some indoor fun activities to do with my husband and friends. So, that'll
What's
be
your
a good
go-to song, Amel?
Oh my god,
I have
there's
two
so
myself.
many. Fiona Apple, Criminal,
Oh wow,
and
that's a
like
hard one.
Landslide.
Oh,
Fleetwood Mac,
Wow.
Landslide.
nice.
You must have a voice
Yeah,
on you.
and I like Enrique. I do have a nice singing voice. Not like like when I actually try, I sing jokingly on this podcast, but like I do like singing. And another one is what's its face? Enrique Iglesias, Hero. That's like my sob, I can be your hero.
Yeah,
It's a very adorable song.
I'm here for it. Amelia, what are your
can-
go-tos?
My
Oh.
breath away.
I'll just choose whatever's shortest.
Whatever shortest. Tequila.
Yeah, exactly.
That's a good karaoke song.
Yeah.
But the
I'm a big fan of
light-
Vanilla Ice's or Ice Baby, and
Oh,
I'm also pretty decent at Love Shack,
nice.
But I need an
Random.
actual. I need somebody to be with me because I'll play the male part, but I can't do the high pitched Love Shack Baby part. I can do the low pitched Love Shack Baby part. Anyways, Way off topic.
That's our pro tip.
Karaoke song choices.
What's your favorite karaoke song?
Yeah.
Pretty much what
TGIF.
we're playing right now. Okay. I'm losing my voice. Pro tip time. Amel, what's your pro tip?
Sorry. Why'd you pick me first? Okay, my pro tip is actually going to be on process. It's not going to be like a tool or anything. Something I've really started to do in my life that has kind of really helped transform my day as well as just my energy levels, right? Lead a very busy life and busy job. And it is keeping a daily journal, right? So what did I do? What do I want to do? What are some blockers? I have a little, rotunda is what I call it as well. File that's just like ideas. Because if I don't write it down, it occupies mental. And if I write it down, I can free my mind,
And the rest will
Really
follow.
for me, yeah, exactly. And the rest will follow, exactly.
Sing it, Nick.
Yeah, sing it, Nick, exactly. Oh, I
Do you need a
wear
song?
some type music. I don't even know. I wear type music. I wear whatever. Anyways, back to the pro tip. So daily journal is a really great way to decompress and detach from work. I just kind of really block out like time at the end of my day to just like get my thoughts down. And it's just really helpful, because then I can pick up the next day and just start off and I don't have to think about it, right? Like I'm like, and then I've started to do a little bit of, I haven't done a good job of this yet, but set like high level goals. Like, okay, what are 3 things I absolutely have to get done today? And then at the beginning of the week, what are 3 I absolutely want to get done this week? So by the end of X, and by the end of this day, I want to do X. And, that helps me prioritize very big appetite for problems and doing things. And I think it helps me really, like, I need to do a daily prioritization exercise because I'm going to, right? So yeah.
Here's a question about your journal. I feel like I would have one and never read it, but probably the benefit is really in just writing it down.
Agreed. No, 70% of the benefit is right. And then like there's a huge benefit for me just like what did I do? Where do I pick up, Yeah.
Share the deets though. What's your gear? What's your setup? Do you use an app? Do you
Oh,
use
yeah, markdown file. And I just do
Obsidian.
check boxes. Yeah, markdown file. That's like get controlled. I rarely push up and commit though.
Yeah.
But yeah, like yeah.
Why is that? Do you have a
markdown.
fear of commitment?
Yes, I do. Yeah. No, I don't. It's really just like I'm too busy and I don't know. I'm in a so
Fair enough.
I don't have like a daily commit rule for this, even though I should. So yeah.
You could automate it.
I mean, tip to one of my direct reports, and he set up a whole automation like Mac OS, and everything just gets published automatically. It doesn't, I'm like, I need to steal his setup, but I have not done that yet, and I should. So.
All right. Good pro tip. Journal it down. That way when you start tomorrow, you know what you were up to yesterday. Get it going
Yes.
again. Nick.
Yep.
What you got?
Okay, so I don't have a lot of pro tips, and I'm pretty sure that I have said this one before, but I'm going to pick it again if I have, because I actually blogged for the first time in like 2 years.
Hey.
Whoa.
So, pro tip.
What
that
brought
you
this
can actually
about?
like go further. Yeah, exactly.
We should do a whole show on your blog posts.
Oh, no, please don't.
Down. One whole
Just
hour.
eviscerating me on my writing. No, it's about using Git work trees and my Git work tree flow and why I love working with Git work trees. It's changed my life, and it's just so good. I do also go into some downsides, so I try and be well-rounded about it. But Git work trees, if you've ever had to do more than one thing at once, which I constantly have to do,
Mm.
Work trees.
Yeah. Yeah, taking that Git knowledge to the next level is like the best thing that you can do for your like mental happiness and productivity as a developer. Like, yeah, agreed.
Yeah, Nick, on work trees. Like, what do they do for you?
Yeah. So they all it does is like when you clone a repository, you're cloning it into it creates a working directory for you to like, work on your code and do all of that. Well, what I do is I clone a bare repository, which is like how GitHub clones or has the repos out there. They're basically like the Git object database without a working directory. And then I like shoehorn it to make that be like a home for me to put a bunch of working directories. So then I can have one that's called main, and that's like my main checkout. So I always have like a clean state that I can check things from. And then I have one called review, and that's where I like check out PR reviews to, actually run the code and do my due diligence on PRs. And then I just make one for each feature branch that I'm working on. And then I can be like, working on something, and they're like, oh, we need to do a hot fix. Just create a new work tree real quick, do the hot fix in there. Don't even have to like close my other editor. I just like leave it open. Don't have to stash anything. I don't have to commit like a work in progress commit. Still do those all the time, but that's okay. That's a different story. And then I can just like switch over there and switch back. It's fantastic.
Very cool. We'll link up your post so that people can check it out in more detail. All right, we're running short on time. I will give a quick pro tip, and then we will call it a show. Maybe the best show ever made. I'm not sure yet.
Yeah. It's the greatest.
I thought you were gonna keep going.
I was
giving you space.
I couldn't remember the song. It's like there's that disco song. He's the greatest dancer, So I was trying to do that.
No
but I forgot the
companion.
lyrics.
Dun, dun,
Yeah,
dun, dun.
yeah. Oh, that one too.
We're on
That's
the-
another good one.
Yeah, that's a different song, but on the same.
I'm telling you, we
wavelength.
need a new music segment for JS Party. We need to make this happen,
I'm in.
Jared.
We'll have to push it to the higher
Luke
ups.
is gonna be in, and we'll find out he has like a costume. He's like a karaoke shirt, got a karaoke
does.
mic with
Got the
sparkles
green
on it.
screen.
Yeah,
Yeah.
He even had like a separate
Smoke
stage name that we
machine.
don't know about. He's been keeping it secret.
Yeah, he won't respond to the name Nick because it's a karaoke
Yeah.
name.
Call me Richard Nisi. I don't know.
Yeah.
My
Nicholas.
pro
Yeah.
tip, real quick, is get a pie hole. Shut your pie hole and get a pie hole.
What is a pie hole?
I'm glad you asked, Amal. I'm glad you asked. Pi-hole is an open source network-wide ad blocker that you can run on your LAN. It is a piece of
that pie
software.
hole. Yes. No. Sorry.
It's a piece of software that gets its name from the Raspberry Pi, although you don't have to run it on a Raspberry Pi. You can run it on anything that runs a Linux OS. And you set it up as your local DNS server, and it blocks ads and trackers at the DNS level for your entire network instead of having to do it on a browser by browser basis or inside of your Brave browser as an extension or whatever other way. You just network wide block the ads. You can also do other kind of content filtering. You can tweak the dog do out of it. You can do whatever you want. It's really cool. It has a web UI. It's completely free, completely open source. I set it up just the other day on our local network, and it's fun. They got charts and stuff, seeing how much stuff you've blocked. Feels good. Like, get out of here, ads and trackers. You can't even be on my network, man.
Seriously.
So, high hole. Get one. Set one up. Worth it. Okay. Question. Is this the greatest show ever made? Let us know in the comments or tweet at us. Is it the worst episode of JS Party you've ever listened to?
Not the worst.
Keep it to yourself. We don't want to hear that.
Yeah. No negative feedback. Yeah. Only good.
We have lots of cool shows coming down the pipeline. Tons of great guests, tons of good ideas. So stay tuned. If you haven't subscribed yet, please do subscribe. If you have and you enjoy it, share it with your friends. We always appreciate that. But that's our show for this week. On behalf of Nick, Amelia, and Amal, thanks for partying with us. I'm Jerod, and this has been JS Party. I like this outro.
Is this new?
Somewhat, yeah. Maybe faded it
All
out.
right. This was so
We should
fun,
do-
y'all.
You know how in 2020 all of the celebrities did like a cheesy like Twitter like song
Yeah.
thing together.
They all sing different parts.
That should be the opening to the show.
Ooh.
But
good.
we're not going to do Imagine, right?
No, not Imagine.
No.
We should do.
Because that's what it was, I thought. No.
It was.
It
Yeah.
was.
I
It was
couldn't think
Gal
of the name.
Gadot, and it was really bad.
And she
Yeah.
was like, I've been in quarantine for 7 days. Oh, my life is so hard.
Yes. I
Yeah.
haven't been able to look at my face lately. Here it is.
I know. My movie got delayed. I can't fit into my Wonder Woman outdoor. No, actually, I love Gal, but yeah, that was not a great thing to do at the
Nick,
time.
which
But
song should
anyway.
we? Which song should we do? Can you choreograph?
Careless
Organize.
Whisper, obviously.
What's that?
Careless Whisper, obviously.
Careless Whisper.
It's an obvious choice.
You own the rights to
I'm
that, don't
never
you?
gonna dance again. Guilty feet of
Gangnam Style. I don't know what's cool these days. What are the kids listening to? Gangnam Style was cool 5 years ago.
Gangnam Style.
Remember that one?
Hero by Enrique Iglesias.
Yeah. That's
Oh,
cool.
the timeless
Oh.
classic.
Didn't I just do that?
You
You
did.
did.
Say that or
I'm
something?
gonna go on record and say I'm not gonna sing that any part of it.
Yeah.
I have the voice of a screeching eel.
So do I.
That's why I do vanilla. I can rap, corny rap, and I can yell, "Love Shack, baby." That's
you
what I can
go.
do.
What's that song from The Wedding Singer that the grandma raps?
To the hip hop, hippity to
Yeah.
hippity to hip hop, and you don't stop. Rocking to the yeah. I also have. I used to have. What are their names? The three gals. Let's talk about sex, baby.
Golden
and
Girls?
Man.
The
No,
Weather
not the
Girls,
Golden
right?
Girls.
Oh, the salt and
Salt and
pepper?
Salt and pepper?
Salt and
Yeah.
Salt and pepper, yes.
I used to have Salt and Pepper's "What a Man" memorized. When I was
What a
little.
man,
Nice.
what a man, what a man. Oh my God. Eric, Jerod, like, wow. I'm so impressed that you be in disco. Like, yeah, that's
I have
impressive.
eclectic taste. Well, thank you.
Oh, I love that. I'm super into those songs too. So, I mean,
Yeah.
just like, yeah, it's dope. That was a good
Sweet.
song. Also, On Vogue, you brought up On Vogue
Mm-hmm.
and
yeah.
Salt and Pepper.
Yeah.
That was a really good era for music.
Oh, the '90s are awesome.
Yeah, the
I
90s
thought.
was just.
But I grew up in the '90s, so it's
80s
kind of biased.
trash compared to 90s, except for certain
Ooh.
rock
Uh oh,
songs.
Amelia's gonna
And,
depart on that
and
statement.
Madonna,
She's
of
like,
course, and Michael and Prince, but there's some 80s
Flock
good
of
stuff,
Seagulls.
but not as much good 80s as there is good 90s. Pardon?
Flock of Seagulls. I was just naming a bad '80s
Flock of
band.
Seagulls. Okay. Oh yeah, I don't know. There's so many one-hit wonders.
They're
Mm.
Like
terrible.
so many more.
Take
yeah.
on Me.
Aha.
Great song.
Good song. Yeah.
Yeah.
But
You know
the
what I
90s had
love? Pet Shop. I like
grunge,
the Pet
hip-hop.
Shop Boys. Domino dancing. You remember
Oh, that's
that
a good one.
song? Oh,
Yeah.
And then there was, Watch Them All. And then Tina Turner had some really good songs too.
Great
Yeah.
legs too.
Good stuff.
He really
Oh
faked
my
those
God.
legs till she made those
Fantastic
legs.
Game changing
circle.
legs.
We're full circle.
Inspirational legs.
Yep.
They were totally real.
Zuckerberg should just ask her how to do it. You know?
Oh, yeah, I didn't even think about that. Hold on. Yeah, so that is for real. That thing, that meta thing, it happened.
Yeah.
I don't pay attention to any of that news. It's like it might be muted. Like for me, it's like boop, not interested. Like
That's
I mean,
good.
it's like I should, but I'm not.
None of us are interested, but for some reason it gets to us. I guess. At least me. Nick, you heard about it. Amelia, you had already heard
did.
about it, hadn't you?
Yeah, I think
The
a
legs.
little bit. Yeah,
Yeah.
the legs. I knew about the legs.
Yeah, it was on Twitter.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I mean, I'm not on. That helps a lot in terms of
Yeah,
being
totally.
able to selectively consume. Care about not just being bombarded with here's some trash and some good.
Well, I did manage to
Sort
turn
it
off
all
the
out,
sidebar finally.
you know?
Yeah. I had to install the better Twitter extension that turns off the
Oh.
sidebar, because the sidebar is where the pure trash is.
Yes.
It's like trending
Oh
topics
yes.
Yep.
and it's like this person said this or whatever, and
I
it's
mean-
just grabs your. So I managed to
Yeah, but-
completely get that out of the browser. That saved me a lot of stupid like rabbit holes of being like, oh, what's
Yeah,
going
you-
on over here in the celebrity world, you know?
Yeah. Wait, what did Meghan Markle do today? Queen, what's going on? Yeah. No, I agree, but the thing is, it's like I think for me, it's more that like Twitter shows me like, okay, this one person that you follow, this other person that they also follow, and this like their cousin liked an article, and then that shows up in my feed, and it's
Third-party
like,
Twitter client.
don't give, huh? I need to fix
Yeah.
the third-party Twitter client. You both need to help me up my game because maybe that's how I'll get back on Twitter because I need to really be a little bit more pruned and tuned, you know?
Right.
So,
Pruned
you
and
really gotta.
tuned.
I like
That's
that.
good. Yeah.
pruned
I
and
see.
tuned,
So-
seriously. That's
Everything
what it
might
is.
change 2 weeks from
It's
today.
on
if
top of
somebody
mind for me
buys
because
Twitter.
we're doing a big API migration at work and there's a bunch of pruning that we're doing. So pruning and tuning.
too.
Yeah. And tuning too, you know. So all right, y'all. I gotta get
All right. Good show, everybody.
Chat.